All right. Welcome back to episode 5? 6?
6.
Episode 6 of the Grid City Press podcast. I'm your host, Charlie. I'm here with my co-hosts.
I'm Oliver.
And Ethan.
And yeah, we're missing Harper today. Only 3 of us today. Harper is on vacation in Arizona. And Oliver and I missed last week's episode because we were on vacation as well. But it's good to be back, us 3, back in the same room. Got some stuff to go over today. Not going to be the most jam-packed episode just due to how many games. But how you boys doing?
I'm feeling great. I'm missing the sun in Hawaii already. Charlie and I went to the island of Kauai, and we had a great time, a lot of beach time, just nice relaxation, and now back into the heat of things with the rest of the season.
I'm doing great. It's good to be on back-to-back episodes. No vacation for me, but it's all right.
Ethan's working overtime here.
Working overtime as the production manager, whatever you want to call it, at the podcast.
Yeah, anyway, we're going to start things off a little differently today. We're going to have Oliver covering the Utah Jazz, and then we're going to jump into some Utah athletics, where I'm going to go over the Running Utes and our basketball season getting underway this last week, and then we're going to harp a little bit on Utah football. We did have a bye week, so no game to cover, just some news and new polls. And then Ethan's going to close us out with some Mammoth news, and maybe we'll mention a little RSL roster stuff to close out the episode. But yeah, let's just jump right into the Jazz segment.
All right, guys, welcome to the Jazz section of the Grid City Press. All right, so I got some big things I want to talk about. First is obviously Walker Kessler's injury. Our co-host Harper Brace had an amazing article on the Walker Kessler update and what he thinks should happen with the extension. I got some good questions for you guys. He played 5 games, averaged 14 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds. With only 5 games played, he's going to undergo a left shoulder surgery and out for the remainder of the season.
It's
really sad.
That sucks.
Brutal.
Nurkic, it showed with Nurkic. He was taking some logo shots in that NBA Cup game.
Gosh.
We got a lot of Nurkic.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. And, Harper did a great job about talking about his extension and what needs to happen. It begins to talk about the conversation of availability over skill. He's obviously missed 3 seasons not playing 65 games.
Is that the minimum? It's 65, or was it 76? It was 65.
Well, I'm just saying he never made...
He hasn't played 65 games.
For the NBA awards thing is what he mentioned.
Oh.
Okay. He hasn't played that at all. And so it kind of makes it think, like, is he worth it in the long run? I mean, I think he obviously, if we can sign him, like, great, obviously, but he's going to be an unrestricted free agent in the summer. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how things go, because obviously our performance dips heavily when he's gone. So what are you guys' thoughts on extensions and what it's going to be without him for the rest of the year?
I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise when it comes to his contract, because they can it helps them kind of clear a pathway for what they want to do with his extension. I think that's what they wanted when they were putting him into restricted free agency and not immediately signing him, because yes, he's still on the books as money. His contract is still on the books, but it means that whatever team really offers him money, we can match it. And I think it clears the pathway for making a contract for him. So I think it could be a good thing. But especially from Harper's article, I liked his comment about the contract and his playing when he's on the court, the team difference.
Yeah, and especially the biggest thing is defensively.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think we definitely need to go ahead and re-sign him. Obviously, that injury's killer, but you got to think about he's obviously homegrown. We drafted him. And I think it's important to keep such a high-skilled, defensive, efficient player like Walker Kessler. I think it's super important to get that extension, make sure that obviously injuries are going to come and go. I mean, you like to hope that next season he can stay healthy and play, and if not, we can work from there. But yeah, just super unfortunate to lose him for the rest of the season, especially a few months, not as bad, but whole season's horrible. You saw that picture. I don't know if you guys saw the picture of him in his hospital bed after his surgery. It's just sad to see, with so much good stuff going already at the start of the season, and now the Jazz look like we're back to tanking. So, anyway, it's brutal. Hopefully, we can get that extension. I think I'd like if I want to make it a point on extension or non-extension, I'm gonna lean heavily towards making that extension.
Awesome. Great points. As we lean into our last 4 games, with our overall being 3-5, we were 1-3 these last 4 games, only taking a win against the Boston Celtics on November 3rd.
The deflated Boston Celtics.
Keontae took a
He had some great games.
He
right?
led with a solid 31 points that game, and obviously defense is going to be a concern, especially without Kessler for all 4 of these games. But we showed some really good grit in that Boston game, being able to come back and really just keep that win. Keontae is just showing that he is going to be a great contributor this year, and as well as Lowry, he's going to be very reliable this season. So it just kind of brings me to focus on, we got blown out in some heavy games, Charlotte, Timberwolves, and then
The
Pistons. So we lost all those games. But there's some areas to focus on. Defensive cohesion between the perimeter and within rotation. We're inconsistent on defense, and we need to figure out who's going to be scoring other than Keontae and Laurie, because our depth is kind of down right now. And then we need to close out games and handle adversity. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think the important thing about a lot of realizing what we miss without Walker Kessler is a lot of teams are transitioning, like Harper said, to a spread floor. What is it? He's called a spread 5
out.
Yeah, 5 out. And Walker Kessler is obviously working on that. He was taking more threes, and that hurt his field goal percentage, but he was getting better at threes. I don't know. I mean, Nurkic also takes a lot of threes, but I think we're going to miss that. I think we're going to miss a lot of him offensively, because he had a great field goal percentage inside the paint. And I'm not going to say I'm doubting Nurkic, but I think we're not going to have a good month.
I don't think necessarily we should be even using Nurkic as a 3-point shooter.
Oh yeah, no,
Like,
definitely.
It's going to be whether we're going to be playing more outside now, or are we just going to have to go in with Laurie and Nurkic now, the big guys, because it's harder.
Yeah, we've got Lowry averaging 28 points on the season. Keontae just behind him with 22 points a game. I think it's a great step for Keontae if he can keep above the 20 points per game range the whole season. I think this season's a success for him. He's averaging 7 assists as well. And speaking of assists, we got Isaiah Collier back last game. Huge addition.
He and Keontae George were starting together.
Yeah,
we were
that's
talking
what
about that,
wanted.
right?
That's what I wanted, at least.
I like that.
Ace Bailey, starting out the season, averaging 6 points, 3 rebounds. Obviously, you want to see something better out of him.
Is that who you think is going to be the third guy?
I don't know. I hope with Kessler's injury, Will Hardy isn't too scared to experiment and just throw Ace Bailey out for 30 minutes a night. But
he had a pretty good game against the Timberwolves, though. He had 12 and
yeah. I'd like to
24.
there's a huge asterisk on that Timberwolves game, losing by 40. Like,
yeah,
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable to say the least. Minnesota Timberwolves, that was their NBA Cup game. They had the bright green court that was all over the internet.
yeah, we can talk about that one. They had a
maybe
green screen.
Maybe that's why we lost. Too bright. Anyway,
it looked like Will Hardy. There was a post I saw where Will Hardy was getting angry, and they're like, the green court turned him into Hulk.
I know. Yeah, the Jazz fall to 0-2 in the NBA Cup. Unfortunately, we have a negative 62-point differential in that tournament after suffering a 40-point loss and a 20-point loss to the Suns earlier this season. So our NBA Cup hopes and dreams are probably flushed away. But
and I mean, given our 3-5 start and our current roster, and realistically, I mean, I see us landing in the mid to low 30s for wins now. I see us winning like 20 to 25 to 30 games.
Yeah, it's gonna be brutal unless we make some changes.
And offense is a strong point. We're always gonna have our offense, and I mean, I don't see our offensive rating going down much. And right now, it's at 114 compared to 112 last year, so we're doing better even offensively. But it's just gonna be whether George Marketing can keep going or if someone can help. And Keontae.
Oh,
and then with how strong the Western Conference is, we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs. It's still early, but it makes me question: do you guys think this is gonna be about winning or developing this year?
I said it very early on in the first episode before the Jazz season even started that I think this is a development season, and I think that the wins are going to take time with the young guys. Keontae George is showing out; he's looking good, and I'm happy about that. I think a lot of the season is going to rely on how well Keontae George and Lauri Markkanen play on the court, and how we can squeeze in minutes for people like Ace Bailey, Bryce Sensabaugh, Walter Clayton, Isaiah Collier, now that he's come back from injury. So I still think I'm going to keep my hopes high. I think we can still get close to 30 wins with young guys. It'll take time, in my opinion, but I still think it's possible. But, to me, like I said, development season. And that's okay. Even 10% better.
Yeah, exactly. And we just need to build that core of people and have a strong foundation for next season. And I really don't want to see us get rid of too many guys. Like, I don't want Keontae to leave now, obviously, because I think he's a great foundational piece.
Yeah. And Lowry, it's just the only thing that's wrong with development to me is just unfortunate to see Lowry averaging 30 points a game on a team that probably won't even
make the playoffs.
Scratch 30 wins, or 35 wins.
I feel
or
bad for
playoffs.
him.
I know it's just like,
unless he can help grow these guys and help And I know that's not
yeah.
towards him personally, but like for the team, like he can help be that role model for us.
I feel like the importance of him and the other vets to helping develop these guys to teach them how to have a long career in the NBA is pretty important for their role on the team.
It sucks looking at our draft picks now because it's like you kind of wish we could have spent one on a center as low as we got Clayton or Tanjay. Just like any center. Just see if you can develop them.
And maybe we'll pick someone up.
Yeah, we could pick someone up.
Because honestly, I don't feel too strong about Nurkic being that. Was he starting?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because he's the okay. So
I mean,
yeah, it's.
You guys want to talk
do we
about?
have a young center to?
No.
Yeah.
He's our only other option. No.
Who's even our backup center?
I think it's just Nurkic.
Yeah.
Who
I
could
mean, flipping Lowry can help.
It's good to have a lot of height. So
yeah, we do have a very tall core. What do you guys want to talk about? Svi? He had a pretty good game against who was
Svi
it?
did have a good game.
Well, I don't think it was the Charlotte. The Charlotte. Yeah.
Was it Charlotte?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it the Pistons? No, it was
the
or Celtics.
I'm checking.
Hey guys, sorry, we didn't come prepared with Svi's.
And my phone's fried. Never mind.
Anyways, while you guys are thinking about that, if you guys had to describe Jazz's identity in one word as of now, what would it be? Because as we transition from, yes, we're very young, but like seeing Keontae kind of grow in his sophomore year, third year. Is this his third or second year?
This is like third or fourth. Third, I think.
Okay. Like, I think we're more than that. What do you think?
I'm still thinking of a word.
I don't want to go something like young because I think that's too obvious. I'm gonna say, I've been saying it all podcasts. I'm gonna stick with the word develop.
Okay, I like it. I'm just gonna say fresh, because I think we got. I mean, having Walter Clayton and Ace Bailey in the lineup, Filipowski as well. Like those are a lot of young guys, and I think it's gonna take time. Like any basketball team, the start of the season's just kind of awkward, but I feel like having Isaiah Collier back's huge. Isaiah Collier, second year. Filipowski, second year. Great draft classes from the Jazz.
Could be second year. Could even be the word because like those guys are who are going to be our foundational pieces. I mean, yes, Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton are looking promising, but it's good to see the second year guys kind of. And I honestly hope Flip can become that third guy behind Markkanen and George because I want him to produce more. He's only averaging 6.9 points right now.
I know, but it sucks though because now he might have to pivot into a more
back into
center role just because.
So he might not get as many minutes.
Well, and
or come off the bench.
He thrives like the Duke treatment.
Yeah. At Duke, when he had to play the 5, he wasn't as effective. And then you saw him in the summer league playing the 4 or the 3, and he can produce double-doubles, shoot the 3-ball well. Like, Filipowski's not a player that's going to stop Giannis or Joel Embiid or Jokic. Like, that's just not going to happen. So.
And I don't even feel comfortable with Nurkic doing that.
Yeah. So Jazz are in a tricky spot. But looking forward, we got a 4-game home stretch coming up. We got Monday versus Minnesota Timberwolves, so we just lost 2 by 40. 7 p.m. tip-off there. Tuesday, Oliver's birthday. We got a game against the Pacers, who are 1-8. So I'm hoping we can pick up a win against them. 7 p.m. tip-off as well on Tuesday. Thursday, Atlanta comes to town. 7 p.m. tip-off. Atlanta's been an interesting team this year. I think they do look better than the Jazz. But and then Sunday, close out the week with a visit from the Chicago Bulls, where Josh Giddey and company have been playing well with a 6 p.m. tip-off on Sunday. All those games can be found on KJazz or SEG Plus or Jazz Plus. I think
good games.
I think we squeeze 1 or 2 wins out of this home stretch. I think Minnesota beats us and the Bulls beat us, but I think we beat the Pacers and give Atlanta a good run.
Yeah, I hope we can I'm really looking forward to see what our rotations are looking like and if our defense can improve with some defensive schemes and see what Coach Hardy can do to improve this season from last and actually really see him coach when we're not having to tank necessarily as much. But I wouldn't mind also getting another draft pick. Having that Bruiser brother I think would be great and just kind of making way for another draft pick I think would also be a good thing to look forward to, especially with Kessler being out.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be interesting. Ethan, what do you think? How many games do you think we win this week out of the 4?
I think we pick up the Pacers game for sure. They're heavily affected by injuries right now. Who's it? Benedict Matherin's out.
Wow.
And
Halliburton's
obviously out. So I think that should be a game. I feel like we can get a little, we can have a little Suns versus Jazz moment here where we beat the Suns the first time, lost to them the second time. I think we can beat the Timberwolves this time. I think it'd be a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it is hard to beat a team twice. Unfortunately, Anthony Edwards is back, so that's going to be a hefty task.
But the Hawks are pretty young, too, as well. right?
Yeah. They're looking. I like the Hawks and
I
Bulls
think,
this year. They're both looking good.
Yeah.
What am I covering to? Just the Bulls game?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we beat the Timberwolves, Pacers, and then lose to the Hawks. And the actually, what games are at home?
They're all at home.
They're all at home. Yeah.
All right, a little
Sorry.
4 home game stretch.
I think
Yeah.
I just
That's
think we
good
lose
then.
to the Hawks and Bulls.
Yeah. All right, this is good.
All right,
Any
I
more
like it.
closing thoughts for the Jazz guys?
Yeah, I think we just gotta see where it goes from here, and it looks like it could end up being another tanking season, intentionally or not, where we just end up at the bottom with a good draft pick, hopefully. But it's hard to see us winning some games here without Kessler.
Does anybody have anything else to add from Harper's article? Because he had some really good points all throughout. I'm trying to find one right now.
No,
I think we're
What
good.
do you think we'd give Walker Kessler a new deal if we did re-sign him? What it would be looking like?
Not sure.
I mean, like he said on there, 4-year, $80 million is what Harper
Yeah, that's what
said on the thing, and obviously, I could see them doing a new deal, and if it doesn't work out, I'm okay with that too.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, as long as we're putting our best foot forward with the center position, because that's obviously what we're struggling with. We're super guard heavy.
Because, like you said, who knows? What if we go out and get a really good center in the draft, and then it's like, oh, Walker's, still hurt or gets hurt again? It's like I could see us moving positions there.
I
But
feel
Walker would also be a great center.
I
So.
feel like he's so important to build around with the team because he constantly says like I want to be here, like I love it here.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about my contract, but I want to
No,
be here, and I think he's so important. Like obviously Harper's like he'll be a defensive player of the year soon, or he could be a
if he can maybe get
and,
past
like,
65 games.
exactly
Right.
if he can get to the NBA award minimum, but
Yeah.
like I don't know, he's working on shooting as well, and he's working more on being a stretch 5 kind of player, and I think that's why he's so important to this team.
Yeah.
Maybe they think they can't build a defense around him, but I still think he's so.
No, I think he's great to build around. It's just it's hard to see with the sample size. With this year, we saw 5 games. He had some really good games, some really strong games. It's just so hard to see with 5 games. So I really hope next year he can get over the hump of these injuries.
It's also hard to just come back from shoulder surgery alone.
Yeah, I mean,
It's gonna be rough.
I just hope that it's a small setback and not a big picture injury.
Yeah.
To see. All right.
Sounds good. I think that concludes the Jazz segment, and we'll hop into some Utah Athletics.
A quick word from our sponsor. As the season wraps up and leaves start to fall, it's the perfect time to call our friends over at Haley Yard Care. They're the local pros who keep your property looking its best. From fall cleanups to help prep your yard for winter to snow removal that keeps your driveways and walkways clear all season long. Don't wait for that first big storm. Let Haley Yard Care take the stress out of winter. They handle everything with reliable service, fair pricing, with friendly faces you can count on. Call Haley Yard Care today at 801-828-8234 to schedule a fall cleanup or get set up for snow removal. Haley Yard Care, your yard, their passion, all year long. They do it right, guaranteed.
Amazing. Anyway, thanks for the ad read, Oliver. And we're going to jump into Utah Athletics, starting off with the Running Utes. They started their 2025-2026 season last Monday, November 3rd versus San Jose State. Like we've said in the past, Utes start out the season with 6 home games in a row, I believe.
Yeah, we can look right over here.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool that we have 6 home games in a row.
Yeah, I feel like the last it might be 5. Anyway, we also had the exhibition. Anyway, versus all non-conference opponents, none are Power 5 opponents. I think our hardest game might be Grand Canyon, but they also lost to a pretty poor team last week. But we started off with San Jose State. Utes win comfortably, 84-75. Not too many worries during that game. We'll get to Ethan's experience in the Huntsman Center for the first game of the season. But Seydou Traore, the standout from this game, posting 23 points, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. First player to have a stat line like that since DeLon Wright and Andrew Bogut as a Ute. So pretty cool, especially for his first game as a Ute.
And he kind of reminds me of DeLon Wright a little bit. And him coming from Iowa, it was cool to see him have that big first game.
He can the whole game, Harper and I were both saying he can shoot that 3 ball. He was taking good shots. He had good. I mean, they weren't heavily contested. Some of them were, and he just still would sink them. He was looking good. I was very happy with him and Don McHenry that game.
Yeah, first glimpse at Don McHenry as well. I think the biggest question this season is how Don McHenry and Terrence Brown can work together, along with our center situation. But it looked pretty good. Don McHenry posting 16 points with 9 rebounds. It's good to see a rebounding guard. Terrence Brown, 12 points, 8 assists, and Keanu Dawes fouling out of this game with 12 points and 9 rebounds. Pretty solid game. Kendall Sanders, also the freshman that was supposed to redshirt prior to Babacar Faye's injury. He stepped up, posting 9.7 rebounds and 2 blocks off the bench. And, Utes come away with the win and go 1-0 into Weber State.
He was the one that's from IMG, right? Kendall Sanders?
Yeah.
He looked pretty good as well.
Yeah, I think it's good for him to come in these minutes, these last two games, and kind of get like 9-7 or like 10-5. Like just to be there to get those rebounds is what we're gonna need without our center. So
I think the only issue is you kind of notice like a chemistry issue with the team a little bit. Sometimes a lot of people are playing like nothing wrong with it, but in the San Jose game, Terrence Johnson was playing a lot of hero ball, just taking crazy. So is that what I said?
Terrence Johnson.
Oh, sorry. Where the hell did that come from? Sorry, Terrence Brown was playing some hero ball. He takes some crazy contested layups where he's literally falling backwards, throwing the ball up just to get not even touch the rim. Like I just thought that some maybe chemistry issues were apparent, but I also and then Terrence drops 30 in the next game, and he was looking amazing that game. So maybe it's just a situational thing. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll have to figure it out. But as of right now, I think Terrence and Don have been playing pretty well off each other. There are some moments where both of them seem to play hero ball, but then again, I'm honestly more comfortable with that than we just don't have any set offense right now, and we have no identity regarding that. But before we jump into Saturday night's game against Weber State, what was the Huntsman Center like, Ethan? First game of the season. What was it like?
I was actually really happy with this. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it took a while for it to fill up, but I was very happy with the turnout. Even though last year, obviously, it was a bad year to compare it to, but last year there was definitely nothing except for the big games like BYU, Kansas, Arizona, maybe. Like this game had a lot of people in it. The lower bowl, there was a couple people in the upper bowl. The lower bowl was looking pretty packed out, not fully, but obviously there was a lot of empty gaps, but there were still a lot of people. I was really happy with it. There was noise.
How's the muss on?
I was gonna say the muss. The muss. You turn around, actually a lot of people, and it was looking good. I think there's some. I think some of the chants in the muss are a little. I won't say anything. But I think they're a little.
They're
much
outdated.
Sometimes.
Little outdated.
Yeah, we'll say a little outdated. I think they could.
Little high school.
Well, I think it kind of brings into it because the people who would lead that, they're kind of graduating or this is their last year, where it's like, I feel like it's time for like something to happen in the must for basketball where someone needs to just put like signs up of what to say because
we can't be doing this like.
The turnaround. How do you feel about the turnaround?
And then the turnaround. Yeah, no, that was when that started. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like this, like all night. And they're
if you don't know what we're talking about, the muss when the opposing team is being announced, the muss likes to turn around and say who's that after every single opposing player is introduced. Along with that, we've got when a opposing player misses a free throw, we like to say you let the whole team down or 50% is still failing. They're just a little outdated.
I like the airball chant.
Yeah,
that one's
got to be.
Airball, like that would get to people sometimes, or like
airball's classic.
Sometimes
the third
people
down
are like
really loud.
Yeah, sometimes people are like chirping the coaches, like coach, get off the court, like your time's up. That's football.
Sorry, not
by the
third
way.
down.
That's
the
football.
3 points when we stay loud when they're on defense, I feel like does get the.
And I like when I kind of like when we put up the U for a free throw. Like that's cool.
Yeah, I like
but some of them can use some work. We had to leave the muss to sit a little bit higher later. Well, we wanted to sit down. Because we wanted to watch the game sitting, but like.
Where were you at the start? Front row, second row?
Yes, we were third row.
Good. Yeah, good. We can't vouch for the muss on Saturday night's win against Weber State because none of us were in attendance. But I think it was pretty good. Hopefully we can keep the attendance after our performance on Saturday. But going into Weber State, hadn't hosted Weber State in over 15 years. So it was their first time coming down in a long time. Legendary Weber State coach, I can't remember his name, but he was on the call last night for ESPN Plus, which is kind of cool. And ESPN Plus is expensive, obviously, but when you're watching it, it's kind of fun. It's like a more personal feel. It seems like the announcers really do their homework and have some really good features throughout the show, so that was nice. Weber State had some cool uniforms as well. I don't know if you saw it. It was like the W with the arrow at the end.
Yeah, that
But
was cool.
yeah, it's always fun playing an in-state rival.
Did we wear
We wore our
white?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into uniforms for our next game, but yeah, we were down 30 out of 40 of the minutes of regulation this game in Weber State. I saw the epitome of brutality coming, which we've talked about, is where a Power 5 school pays a lot of money to a D2 or a very low D1 school to come and play and then lose that game. I thought that's what was going on. I texted the boys. I go, and we just lost to Weber State. But yeah, we got bullied in the first half. No identity there. Luckily, Terrence Brown leads us to overtime with some crucial buckets down the stretch, along with a game-tying 3 from Don McHenry with 5 seconds left in this game. I thought we were going to lose this game. Watching the last 10 minutes, we went down 7 a few times. Fought our way back, fouled Weber State to go on the line to go up 4. They make 1 to make the lead 3. 5 seconds, get the ball back. Don McHenry, the lefty, takes a nice 3 out of the corner. Nice find from Terrence Brown, where he said Alex Jensen told him to go down and find somebody. So, I mean, once we went to overtime, I had a good feeling about, because we really found our momentum towards the end of the game. Keanu Dawes fouls out of this one for his second game in a row.
But a big game for him, too.
He was, I was going to talk
Yeah,
about
11
stats
points
from him.
11 points and 14 boards.
14 boards is big.
Yeah, I think he's playing his role great.
Yes.
He was out rebounding everybody on the court, and the thing, my biggest takeaway from the entire game was rebounding. We out rebounded basically their whole team. A couple
And
players.
you remember last year they didn't play him at the start of the season,
Keanu?
like
Yeah.
a lot.
And then he came in and was getting a double-double every game.
every game, and that's why I'm so glad he stayed, because I love the leadership from Terrence Brown.
Yeah. Obviously, Terrence Brown has been the standout of this season, averaging over 20 a game already. He finishes this one with 36 points on 56% shooting, 10 for 15 from the free throw line. So 26 of his points were from the restricted zone, or the paint pretty much. 26 points, or layups. Well, not layups, tough layups.
Crazy for him. And he's what, 5?
6'3".
Sorry.
6'3". You're good. Yeah, and then Don McHenry with 26 points on 36% shooting.
Is he averaging 22?
No, just a little under 20 because he only had he actually might be at the
Terrence
20.
Brown's got 24, all checked on.
Yeah. Don McHenry had 4 for 11 from 3 this game. Terrence not knocking down a 3 this game, 0 for 2, but he found his rhythm in the paint. Obviously, he is a great threat, and the announcers were talking the whole game how defensively they'd push Terrence left, and then he'd go left and find the bucket. They'd force him right, he'd find a bucket. So, unfortunately, without our identity, it kind of just looked like at the end of the game, Terrence Brown with the ball at the top, and everyone just spreads out. And it's just iso ball from there. Terrence, like Ethan was saying in the first game, there were a few iffy moments where Terrence would drive and just throw up a crazy shot, and there were a few in this game where I think he's looking for a foul and didn't get it. So hopefully he can adjust a little bit that way. But 36 points from a player that played in Fairleigh Dickinson last year, like that's crazy that his game can translate to the Power 5 level for a team like Utah. Obviously, he played Weber State, but still, I think he's going to be a huge standout this season. 36 on 56% shooting is great, and 10 for 15 from the free throw line, not bad. Obviously, he's going to get to the line a lot this season. So yeah, tighten up things a little there. Kendall Sanders went to the line for some crucial free throws this game, ended up missing both. So, I mean, obviously we won the game, so it's fine. But
unfortunately, you win, you move on. But I know there, like last game, I was telling our last game, Seydou Traore was a great three-point shooter, and he was 0 for 7 this game, which is, it's unfortunate. But
Yeah, zero?
0 points for Seydou Traore.
He had 0 points. He was 0 for 7 from the 3. But hey, like you said, we win, we move on. I don't really care that much. We're still early.
We should have destroyed Weber State.
It still feels like we're making this really close, and it might be a tell later into the season. But I don't care that much. I'm happy with basketball and winning, and I'm glad to see our players actually playing with some oomph.
Who I have that up? Who are the other subs other than Sanders?
We had Ja'Kai Howard come off the bench. He struggled.
Obamate
Yeah.
And
and
who?
Abby.
Patrick.
Oh yeah, how did
James Patrick had 8 points, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
he's a good 3-point shooter. They like to find him in the corner a lot,
Yeah, he's a good, just 3 and D.
and I like him. He kind of lingers there in the corner, makes a couple moves, but usually just catches, shoots. Something else I noticed is that Terrence Brown or Don McHenry, when they're both on the court, sometimes like it kind of swaps who's taking the ball up the court.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
I think it's good. Keeps the defense on its heels.
Yeah,
true.
I like it,
And they're both so good at driving.
I
the
think
basket.
they're really entertaining to watch because they're really fast. Like
Yes.
when Terrence Brown's driving, he's fast down there. He like finds a little gap and it immediately takes advantage of it. And same with Don McHenry. He's
having a double threat like Don McHenry, who's a lefty, along with Terrence Brown, I think is going to be huge. I think they played off each other well. You could see some good chemistry between them. They were getting amped up when Don McHenry made that 3 to send it to overtime. It was great. Ja'Kai Howard, first game of the season in a Utes jersey, struggled off the bench, only 1 point, played about 10 minutes. I think he just needs to find his role. I think he's just used to being like the main option in high school and then got benched by Auburn last year. So I think he just really needs to figure out what he can bring to this team because he's a great 6'7", lengthy, bouncy player. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I saw a little bit of attitude from him. He's looked a little upset going out of the game last night. Hopefully that's not too much. But, I mean, I get it. He's not producing, so Alex Shenton's going to bench him. But hopefully we can see some brighter things from him.
Because think about what Kendall Sanders is doing off the bench. Like, if Ja'Kai could just do what Keanu does off the bench, we're solid.
Yeah. I like that Josh Hayes is starting too. He's got a huge wingspan. Seeing him in person, it looks like he might have the biggest on the team. Mm-hmm. His arms are huge, so I like that Josh Hayes is starting because he's probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, Josh. I saw him at the business school the other day.
Josh Hayes, he's only had 7 points between both games, and he's going to be replaced by James Okonkwo here in 2 games, who's going to be coming back from his transfer complications where he has to sit out the first 3 games. So we won't see him versus Holy Cross, but we'll see him against Sam Houston to close out this week. And it'll send Josh Hayes to the bench, but it'll be interesting to see how he'll play a role off the bench. I think he's been a okay center replacing James Okonkwo. But, I think obviously it's super early. Not a lot to tell. I think we still have a lot of things to tune up, obviously, before conference play comes around. But coming up, we got 0-2 Holy Cross coming to town Monday, November 10th. That's going to be on ESPN+. And we are wearing our new unis, the new white jerseys that have kind of a retro feel. They just dropped a photo shoot with James Okonkwo and Don McHenry up at the Capitol repping them. I think it's good to see some new uniforms. I feel like last year we only had like the red and whites pretty much and the blacks. But
love the blacks, by the way.
Yeah, the black unis are so clean.
I think we should bring back the gray.
I know. I think we should
used
too.
to have a gray.
Well, the white one.
Yeah, that was the one.
The retro white that's coming back has that gray font that you're talking about.
Oh, good.
So I think those will be clean. And then we finish out the week on Saturday, November 15th against Sam Houston, who's 1-1. Get James Okonkwo back. That's going to be a huge key player to watch during that game.
What time's that game?
That's
Are they both later?
Yeah, I think 7 p.m.
Good, because I'm so glad we have 2 games to go to this week. I've been missing some basketball, and it's so fun to have these home stretches because we're going to be able to go to 2 games at the Huntsman this summer. And I hope people just show out. Because like Alex Jensen said, I think you just need people to come.
Yeah, I think the point thing that they're doing for your must pass, it's really working out. I mean, people are going to a San Jose State game.
Yeah,
that's
great.
Good. I think it's good that people are actually showing out for these games. It's fun.
That's a great.
And what Alex Jensen said, it's great to have. It's more enjoyable as a fan to have even more fans there. Yeah. And I'm sure it's way better for the players when they're on the court looking around. They're like, oh, people are actually like coming out to show out for us. So
yeah, it's awesome. I think. Good things to come. Terrence Brown, Don McHenry, great guards. I think as long as they stay healthy, I think we're going to have a very successful backcourt this season. We just got to figure out the center position because obviously Keanu Dawes is bringing a lot of value offensively on the boards, defensively too, but we just need to make sure that we're ready to stop a big board because when we played Oregon against a good center like Nathan Bill, we got worked. So, yeah, it should be interesting.
I think it could get kind of – I mean, I still think we'll win, but I think it could get ugly a little quick here. If we don't like having close games like this against San Jose State and Weber is a little scary going into games like coming up like
Holy Cross,
Arizona.
Temple.
Oh, like conference play?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a little bit down the line.
The dream for me.
I was talking like
the dream for me is to win these next.
State.
If we win these next 4 games, I'm gonna be so happy, so happy.
Oh, man.
Just imagine being 6-0.
Yeah, but we're beating high school teams.
I know, but that's why we shouldn't lose.
Oh, no, we definitely shouldn't lose because we're going to be woken up pretty fast against Mississippi State and Ole Miss or Iowa. So it's going to be interesting.
I don't have any expectations.
Yeah.
I like keeping 0 expectations because
I've
been surprised every game and I'm just going into this like, oh hey, we're actually playing some pretty good basketball. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
So I don't really care what happens. I'm just excited to watch them play.
I think our expectations is just get Terrence Brown to the NBA draft eventually.
Yeah, I would love if
I think
Don and
yeah.
Terrence and Keanu all stayed one more and
I
just
think-
build up the team.
I think my
That'd be
dream
huge.
is that, like the dream for this entire season is that we keep a lot of our players and then just have a good off season in terms of transfers coming in. If we can,
Because isn't
And
Jack Johnson coming?
Jackson Johnson should be coming up.
what
His
does he
mission.
play?
He's big.
Basketball.
No,
Dude,
I'm just kidding.
He's-
what are we?
he's big.
Is he a center?
No, he'll play the 3 or the 4.
Okay. No, I just hope we can have a good these guys, bro. I hope we can have a good transfer
Yeah, I think
off season. But
We just wanna build
that's
a-
far down the line.
we want
so
to
I
build
don't
a
care.
brand though that people want to come.
Exactly.
play.
So we got
And-
it. It shows right here.
Having Alex Jensen as a coach is our first step. A player like Terrence Brown is a great ambassador for the program, just like showing that he can thrive here. We just
true.
Anyway, I think that's going to conclude the Utah men's basketball segment. We're going to jump into some brief news on Utah football. It was a bye week, coming off our nice win against Cincinnati, but around the Big 12, BYU got its behind handed to them by Texas Tech over the weekend. College Game Day was in town for that game. So happy you got College Game Day, BYU. Hope it treated you guys well. I mean, it was in Lubbock, Texas, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, Texas Tech just went out and beat them on every side of the ball.
BYU almost got shut out. I mean, it was the
Wow.
fourth quarter, or was it
Yeah.
the third quarter, and before they had scored
Yeah,
even anything.
it just makes me more
They
frustrated
couldn't
that
get
we
any
couldn't beat
offense going.
BYU.
Their offense was horrible that game. I mean, Bear had little to no passing or rushing yards at all. Like they
Oh my
they really had. And then Parker Kingston, beautiful to see, muffs the punt. Laughing, wait. I don't even know how he muffed it too. Looking at the clip, it looks like
It's a catchable ball.
it's a very catchable. It's not like a dive like Utah against BYU. It was like
Yeah.
his basket was open. It was right under him or right over him, and
Yeah.
he could. I don't know, but
Yeah, but the first college football playoff rankings came out this last week, and Utah's at 13th.
Bit
That's
of
a
a surprise. I'm not gonna lie.
that's a great
That's huge
spot.
for us.
That's a
really
great
big for us.
spot. I think we just need to dominate Baylor, Kansas State, and who else do we play? Is
Kansas.
Kansas State, and Baylor.
Yep.
Are those our last 2
Yeah,
games?
and our last home game is Kansas State.
Yeah, so I think we just need to dominate those, and if we don't get into the Big 12 championship, which I don't think we will, because I don't know, it depends. BYU is a tough
I
game.
think that's
against-
irrelevant now. Since we got ranked 13th, I think a Big 12 championship game is irrelevant for us.
So as
Like,
long as we just
I
get an
wanna
at-large
win
bid.
that.
especially
though.
after BYU loses. Like, we need BYU to win out, really,
I
for it to be
know.
a
Well,
easy
are we
route to
gonna
the
have a
Big 12
chance to
championship.
do the Big
I
12?
think we, yeah, because not the Big 12 championship. I
Oh.
don't think we'll make the Big 12 championship,
The
but
college
we can,
football playoff, though.
we can still get an at-large bid for the 12-team
yeah,
playoff
I think
format.
we can.
Would it be Houston then?
No.
It would be Texas Tech and BYU in the Big 12
probably,
championship.
and then we'd
Yeah.
probably fill that at-large bid
The
spot.
at-large bid spot.
Okay.
It just
The Big
depends.
12 getting 3 spots would be nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That'd be big for the conference.
It's because they rank our wins. Like, we have a great win against Cincinnati.
We have a hard strength, or we have a good strength of schedule too.
We fought. I mean, it looks like we got killed by Texas Tech, but we really
didn't.
it was close for 3 quarters, and I hope they take that into account. We barely lost to BYU. Yeah, we're gonna have to see. Utes coming up this week. We play Baylor. I think it's a 4 p.m. kickoff in Baylor, so it should be interesting.
awesome.
Yeah. Anything else regarding Utah athletics?
We moved up 2 spots in the AP
Oh,
poll.
yeah, we did.
as
We
if
went to
anybody
15th
cares
in
about
A
that anymore.
people.
I mean, my heart dropped when I saw that. I was like, we went to 15th. I was like, no, did we just go down 2 spots in the college football?
And when does the college football playoff ranking come out? Monday?
I actually don't know off the top of my head. I know
Yeah.
somebody who does
an eye
know
out.
that off the top of their head.
Keep an eye out for that this week, and yeah, we'll see you with a Baylor recap next week and the 2 Utah basketball recaps.
Herpers
Go
Virginia
Utes.
lost.
All right, and we're going to get into our second to last segment now. We're jumping into the Utah Mammoth.
Welcome to the Utah Mammoth segment of the Grid City Press podcast. Man, it has been a tough start of the month for us. We did not have such a good start to November as we did October. We won one game out of our 4. We lost to the Lightning at home. We beat the Buffaloes, and then we lost to the Maple Leafs and the Canadians. Unfortunate start to the month for us. I mean, yeah.
Yep.
Do you have anything? Sorry.
No.
I think my biggest takeaway so far is our defense, man. I mean, we conceded 16 goals total out of
Yeah.
those 4 games. It was not a good look for us. I mean, we were talking a lot about our defense earlier in the season and, like, how happy we were with it. Veggie's save percentage was really good. Obviously, VTech played a game this week because we had back-to-back games, but I just think our defense was a little bit lacking this game. We couldn't even produce on offense either in a lot of the teams.
Besides Keller's game winner in that, the one of the 4 wins. We just haven't been able to get Cooley or Schmaltz going. Yamamoto and Kraus have been getting going.
Lightning game.
So it's good to see them. And Yamamoto scored yesterday.
Yamamoto was balling out.
And we played tonight against Ottawa, so we'll see if we can turn things around there. But I think once we just got to get Gunther, Cooley, Schmaltz going. Those guys, we win when those guys score.
Yeah, but Paterka's he's been doing good, but I just think our biggest lacking point so far this week was our defense. I mean, conceding 16 goals is crazy. In October, we were one of the best teams at stopping goals scored and shots on, I think it was. And it's just unfortunate to see the turnaround. I'm curious if we're going to be the kind of team that streaks, like we go on win streaks, or we just transition win-loss kind of thing throughout the season. And we talked about it a lot already, but our power play, think about it. Our power play hasn't been good either. This month, I just wrote the stat down, but we didn't score in any of our power play opportunities out of 10.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I mean, we killed a lot of penalties. I don't think we conceded either, but that's still a good look on our defense. But there's just still a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Confusion. I guess I should say in some of these areas.
Yeah, I think. I think it was tricky because we had such a hot streak going with that win streak, and then we went into a week where we only played 2 games.
Yeah.
So I feel
That's a
like
good point.
I don't know. I feel like we kind of thrive when we have the back-to-backs or the 2 games in 3 days situation. And this week we only have 2 games to look forward to, so we're gonna have to see how the boys adjust to that. But it's tricky. I mean, luckily we'll be back at home for 2 games this week. We haven't had a home stretch in a minute. But I think it's just interesting. I think we gotta get those guys going, like Schmaltz and Gunther, because Schmaltz he's put the team on his back this season with 18 points.
Yeah.
But he needs to keep adding to it for us to see some more wins. And obviously, we're playing some good teams. Canadians are a good team.
Canadians are good. Maple Leafs are good.
Yeah.
I think we're missing some of these key players in some of these games. I didn't really have anything bad to say about Schmaltz either. But VJ Vanacek played a good game or an okay game, but Vejmelka has not been playing very good in those last 3 games. His save percentage dipped a lot, especially against the Lightning. There was one where it was definitely his fault. It was an open goal opportunity. I'm a little sad to see that because he had one of the best save percentages, and I'm really happy with him so far. And Harper was saying earlier in some podcast that we can really rely on him in these situations to, I don't know what the word is, but I don't want to say lock in, but I guess lock in.
Yeah.
But Vejmelka it dipped a lot this game, or this last week. The game against Lightning was at home, and then we started a 4-game road trip. And I just, how do you guys feel like we're adapting kind of at home, away from home? Because obviously we had a good win streak, and we were playing a lot of the games away. But how do you feel like we're adapting in general, this team, to playing away?
I just think it points out how crucial it is to grab points on the road and how hard it can be, because obviously it seems like we've really thrived in our home environment. Like beating the Avalanche at home was huge. We lost to Tampa Bay. But, coming up, we have Buffalo Sabres at home Wednesday, November 12th, 7 p.m. puck drop, and then the New York Islanders at home Friday, November 14th. I think it's going to be super crucial to see how these boys adjust. Obviously, we have Ottawa tonight, Sunday. I think it's going to be super important to maintain our home playing, I guess. Just hopefully grab all 4 points out of this week. But, on the road, we're just going to have to figure out we're going to have to find a way to grab points going forward.
Yeah, I agree.
Nothing else? Okay. Other than that, I don't really have much to add. I didn't want to go through like a game-by-game breakdown.
What game do you think or what do you think we're going to be doing tonight against Ottawa?
The Senators, I think, are pretty good. I just don't think, I don't know, coming off like a loss streak like that, and we're still away from home, I want to see us kind of bring it back. But, I mean, we dropped a lot in terms of shots on goal and offensive opportunities on the power play in general. Our power play doesn't seem very threatening. I think we're going to have a tough time against the Senators. They're very good at, what's the word? Oh, Harper would know it. It's a name for the area. I can't remember.
And we haven't had a...
No, it's in like the center of the...
And we haven't had any injuries, right? Or anything these last
Nothing
time?
crazy.
So it really is just... Do you think it's more of a motivational thing with these, like, the going back-to-back losses are just deterring us from
I just
winning?
think we're having a Utah moment.
It is tough to see us play the Canadians and be 2-2 and then end up losing 6-2. Obviously, some with the open net, but
Maybe something with the later in the games we kind of do worse?
yeah, it just seems like as the game goes on, we kind of lose our momentum. Maple Leafs obviously beat us 5-3. Good to see a win against the Sabres, 2-1 in overtime. But, like, I don't know. I think it's like we talked earlier about having the lead at the start versus the end. I feel like it's just hard to contain that lead. And we see it with, like, RSL and soccer terms. Like, parking the bus and, like, having the lead early can be scary sometimes because it feels like you just know the other team's going to punch back and we're not really fighting anymore because we just bring so much energy in the first period. But, yeah, it should be interesting. Hopefully we can grab 2 to 4 out of the 6 points this week. We play a pretty mediocre Islanders team along with the Sabres, who we obviously beat last week. Senators at 7-5-3 with 17 points on the season, one behind us at 18. Should be interesting.
I think the important thing is how we respond when we come back home because we come back from a road trip and we're kind of down in the dumps. I think the important thing is how we set the tone for the next few weeks when we come home with the Sabres.
Yeah, and I think we have a really strong fan base, and everyone just kind of knowing about that win streak and feeling hyped. I think they have a really good fan base behind them to help them win.
Yeah, our go-to guys like Dylan Gunther and Nick Schmaltz, they showed up. I'm just hoping they can continue this through November because we need a very big, like our second line. Harper and I were talking about it in the Lightning game. Our second line is very good, and we're really happy with them. I think I just hope players like Dylan Gunther and Nick Schmaltz can keep showing up. So far, Utah's been pretty strong at home, and I'm just hoping that this road vulnerability and isn't our weakest link. I think maybe special teams could use some work. That's a very broad statement, but looking ahead, going into the next games, I'm just hoping we can improve our road consistency and show up and punch people in the face when we get at home. Also, that Lightning game was really entertaining. There was a lot of fights going on. We really seemed like we hated those guys.
Who was doing the fights?
It was like team scruffle.
Like
people were just like, yeah.
It's just tough to see us at the top of the Central West Division, and now we fall to 5th.
Oh, sorry, we're third in the something. Or are we not third anymore after that
loss? No,
loss?
We're 5th.
We dropped more after that loss.
Well, we've got Colorado in first with 23 points. Dallas with 19 points, Chicago with 19, and then Winnipeg and the Mammoth at 18. So obviously one win. And we have a game in hand on Chicago. Winnipeg has a game in hand on us. So I think a win puts us right back in third. So, Chicago's been a little surprising. Bedard's been playing super well. It definitely looks like Nashville and St. Louis are going to be towards the bottom. But it's just a tough division. If you look at other divisions, there's a more widespread amount of points, but St. Louis in last place is only 5 points behind us. So we just got to make sure we grab all the points for the taking and, just go forward, I guess. Like Ethan said, we got to find a way to win on the road or at least get a point tonight against Ottawa and then hopefully show out versus Buffalo and New York at home.
Sorry. I mentioned earlier our special teams need work. I meant they don't really. They're our strongest. They're one of our strongest because we obviously are really good at killing penalties. But I meant to say like our special teams could use some work in terms of power play goals scored. We kill the penalty, but I mentioned the stat earlier. We just don't really score on penalties at all.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything to add. Sorry.
No, I think those are all good.
That's not much. I don't have much this week.
Yeah, no, not much going on, and only 2 games next week. So that's gonna wrap up.
We got 3 games to cover because
Ottawa.
Yeah, I think Harper's going to one of those at least, right?
Yeah, he'll be at the Buffalo Sabres game.
That'd be good to get kind of see how it's
Canada.
looking. Yeah, seriously.
Bad week for us against Canada.
Like Charlie, we've been playing a lot of Canadian teams and losing to them.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Just Ottawa this week.
Well, no, but he's saying last week with Edmonton and Canadians.
Edmonton wasn't last week, but it was yeah.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was saying.
We can't beat the Canadian team. Toronto. We played Toronto last week.
True.
Anyway, I think that's gonna wrap up the Mammoth segment. Any last thoughts?
I'm just hoping we can pick up more wins in conference play when it gets back to that. When we play more teams in our
good
conference.
point. And I love watching the conference play games.
Yeah,
They're
it seems like
good.
the energy is a lot higher.
I mean, we don't have many this month, but we got
It's
the
funny how
stars.
they're all
and
stacked onto each other. Like at the beginning of the season, how we played like 5 division opponents in a row or
No.
whatever.
I mean,
scheduling's kind of crazy in hockey.
We played the Golden Knights twice this month. We got some pretty big games to hopefully turn this around. Like I said, hopefully we can come at home and punch people in the face and ride that momentum, which is what I feel like we were doing for the win streak. We were really riding that momentum, and it kind of died off, and now we're kind of win-loss. And that's my biggest question is, will we be a win streak team or will we be alternating?
Gotta have that Tusks up mentality.
Yeah, Tusks up. Anyway,
in other words, I've
Tusky.
been seeing the Ultimate Hockey Club fan on my feed a lot.
Yeah,
Really?
He's popping on my feed a lot.
I've seen it.
He was
too.
at the Lightning game, and he was like, they were doing some like chug contest. It's funny.
Anyway,
Were you a part of the shirtless thing at the game day?
the Mighty Utah student section, the
No.
Mighty shirtless.
No.
You didn't go up there?
No.
Okay.
That was towards the end of the game. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up the Utah Mammoth segment, and we're gonna jump into some brief Real Salt Lake news. All right, jumping into the last segment of today's episode, we got Real Salt Lake. No games, obviously, because we got knocked out of the play-in of the MLS playoffs like a few weeks ago. Keeping an eye around the MLS about what teams have been going through. Seattle Sounders fall to Minnesota, which is really surprising.
That was really surprising.
That was a crazy game.
In
crazy
10
game.
penalty shootouts.
Oh my
Yes, and
gosh.
Minnesota was down a man almost the whole game, and
And
they
it-
still
yeah.
they still scored 2 goals.
It's crazy, too, because we were talking about how Seattle is like one of the strongest teams in the MLS, right?
I know,
Like,
but
they were really
Pedro De La Vega was
Is
injured. It's
out,
just-
yeah.
And they were playing Fry, who is their really old keeper, who they subbed for Pens. But anyway, super interesting. Real Salt Lake, though, for some jersey news, we are going to be losing our home kit this season. One of my favorite home kits we've ever had with the mountains and the stripes. So
That was a good one.
what are you guys' predictions for next year's home kit?
I love whatever they come up with. They come up with some really good ones. I think this one might be a little simpler just because we kind of went crazy with the mountains last time in the
super
red.
unique.
And we have the
Yeah.
Grid City one, which is also like
I
I really
the
liked
one.
the pairing of the Grid City and the mountain one because of just having the
Yeah.
both the blue kind of like formats on the front. And I love our sponsor, what it looks like. But I think we're gonna go a little simpler. And I think we're obviously gonna stick with red because we always need a red.
Yeah,
kit.
we always need a red
So-
kit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I want us to have a white kit, even though that's normally our away, and we already have the Grid City kit that's basically white. So
Maybe
I
navy.
I hope we get a third and maybe
Yeah,
get a
maybe-
white kit.
maybe
Like,
a mostly navy kit
Didn't-
could be
didn't-
cool.
didn't you see some that we were gonna get some third kit? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
we're always promised a third kit, but I think we might go in next year. And if we do, I'd love
I'm not
to
gonna
see.
get my hopes up.
If we do, I'd love to see. If you're looking in our studio, we got the 2005 away kit with the Salt Lake on the front. I'd love a kit that said Salt Lake on the front with the sponsor on the back.
I
Or,
love
agree
it.
too.
or like the
Salt Lake.
bright, like
That'd be
Utah Utes red jersey that we
Yeah.
started our existence with. But yeah, jumping into some news
We got a lot
regarding
of
the
news.
club. The club let go of Forster Ajago, Kevon Lambert. Those players are obviously in the USL, so they're on.
It's funny to hear those guys.
I know you haven't heard him in a while. Willie Agata, though, kind of bummed to see Willie go. Obviously, he couldn't put forward what we needed from him, but he was just a great guy. Really fun to watch him. Zach McMath hung up the boots.
Congrats to
Yeah.
what a career.
Give it up
Yeah.
for Zach McMath.
Unfortunate.
Lots of games
Unfortunately
that's
sad to
retiring.
see.
Also letting go of Jude
Shoulder
Wellings.
injury.
Jude Wellings, the academy
Yeah,
prodigy.
we lost.
Oh, where's he
Wasn't
going?
there another
I
one?
don't know.
too?
And then, Johnny
Like,
Russell.
Isn't he
Yeah.
like 15?
Yeah, he's really young, but we never saw him on the first team. And then Johnny Russell, kind of surprising. I really
But-
like that veteran
I
veteran
love
presence.
the Johnny.
But we did extend DeAndre Edlin.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into some extensions. No, you're good. You're good.
But I will say Johnny was really fun to have on
Yeah.
the team.
Yeah,
I'm gonna miss
I
him.
know.
I
I'm
liked
gonna
him
miss
after
him
he
too.
said, "I hate sitting on the couch for playoffs."
Yeah.
I
And the
wanted
guy
him to stay
behind us
after
always
that.
going Johnny Russell.
Yeah. Shout out John Smith. That's our boy. And then we got Noel Caliscan getting the extension. I think he played super well this season. Great season for him.
Really
He
stepped
stepped up defensively and sometimes in the midfield, which was really surprising. But it's important to have, I don't want to say depth because he was starting a lot of the games, but
I think he's worked for that extension. Like
Yeah.
over
That's a
these
good point.
last, like he really has. Because like And he's just been able to play in so many games. And he's always been reliable, never is hurt. I think it's great.
I wonder what our future's going to look like with Pablo Ruiz, seeing he played a lot this season, but he's been injured a lot.
Yeah, he's sticking around. We got Katranis, Ethan's favorite player.
That's
extended.
a big-time extension.
Yes, I love
And then regarding the Utah Royals side of the first team, we've got Jesus Barea. He's extended along with
Royals?
Marcos.
Monarchs?
Sorry, Monarchs, not the Royals. Royals, the women's team, which they just concluded their season. But sorry. Real Monarchs. And then Marcos Zambranos, who played in the U20 World Cup with Xavier Gozo, got extended. Love to see how he can develop with the Monarchs to make it to the first team.
Barea is strong too.
And then after some rumors of Brian Vera leaving, he actually did get extended. So
Woo.
more time with Vera. We'll see
Interesting.
how that.
I think it's better than him going back to his old team. I think he deserves to stay.
I wonder where we're gonna fill that center defensive.
We still have
spot.
Kobe Henry, right?
Yeah.
But they're still working things out with him. But then Mason, our keeper, who was the backup all season,
The young guy, or is
I
this the
think so.
Germany guy? Let me see him.
I think it's the.
Nope, that's the older guy.
That's the older guy. Anyway, sorry, we're not
The
too.
older guy got extended though.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're not too in touch with our backup goalkeeper.
We don't when we only have Rafa Cabral who plays every game. You don't
know.
even need to think about your other backups.
And I think our biggest extension is Brian Ojeda. I think there's been question marks about him
that's
staying,
big.
and I think he's just one of our obviously our best midfielder. I think him and Anelli are a great pairing.
These are good extensions to me.
These are good extensions. I just think there's a little bit of there's a little bit of like a cloud over the team that I'm just a little confused on what we're going for here.
Yeah, I think
I think there's a lot of big changes that need to happen, but also maybe there's some small changes that could really propel us to moving into a more of not just a playoff team, but a competing team.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Diago?
Because it feels like, I like Diago, but it feels
I
like
do too.
it feels like there's just too many big things that need to happen for us to actually compete, rather than just staying as a complacent first loss out of the playoffs kind of team.
I know, and Pablo Mastroeni got extended.
Mastroeni gets extended, which I don't hate.
I don't hate
it.
I don't hate it, but I just think maybe that's one of the big changes that could really propel this team. Because I feel like
I like keeping things familiar and comfortable like that. You know, like when you lose like Colorado already getting rid of
their coach. Yeah, Colorado already moved on from their
that's
coach.
when it's like it just feels like a whole new thing. Whereas I like keeping that similarity.
Yeah, I don't want to hate. Maybe it's one of those I can compare it, but I'm not going to. But maybe it's just one of those we need to trust the process kind of situations. My biggest question is are we competing and are we trying to win, or are we just trying to make money?
Yeah,
sell players.
I think it is good to see Colorado though. They spent all that money. They get a U.S. men's national team goalkeeper. They get a new coach, and they still can't make the playoffs.
They just spent a bunch of money to get Brendan Aronson's brother.
Yeah,
and then they got rid of their coach, which it makes me. That's why we're the best. But
yeah,
that's why we're the best
in the Rocky Mountain Cup. Yeah. Well, they have it right now, but we made the playoffs 5 years in a row.
I wonder if Pablo changed anything up tactically.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like his tactics work. It's just we need the right back line. Our back line is atrocious.
I mean,
I always signed Katranis because that's solid. Yedlin, solid.
I always think defense wins championships.
So now you think about the center back spot, and then we're keeping Vera. So
and
it's
maybe a little bit more
Glad.
Quentin Vera. What's Quentin's dominant foot? What's Quentin's dominant foot?
I'm not sure.
Is Vera also a lefty?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a cloud over the RSL thing I'm kind of talking about. Is
other than that center back, I'm feeling really good about. We got Luna and Gozo, amazing. We got our new two strikers.
Our defensive midfielders are always really good.
Mm-hmm. I think Olatunji needs another guard that's not Rowan Cruz to actually see.
And I think we have the money now with getting rid of Forrester and getting rid of Willie. I think it frees up some space for that position.
Just how much money can we?
We got Peel, so.
Rowan Cruz, I think we can choose to sign him because he's on loan from Botafogo, but we can sign him if we want. I just don't think we've heard news yet. So,
pretty sure his contract is undisclosed, if I remember.
Yeah,
the ending date is undisclosed.
Yeah, so we'll have to just look forward to that. But he's getting paid more money than Olatunji. Glad's making so much more money than Olatunji, and it's just crazy to see the impact. Obviously, Glad's been here forever. He's an RSL man,
big tenure.
It's just I wouldn't be mad if we saw him come off the bench next season.
I wouldn't either. I want to. I don't know. there were so many defensive gaps for me. But
Yeah.
doesn't just start with one player. I can't say it's Glad's fault, but I want to see us switch it up a little bit because we didn't get to see really any Quentin or Kobe Henry this season. Obviously, there were issues, and Quentin was injured, but
Injuries, yeah.
still.
And Javane McBrown. Javane Brown is just, where has he been?
Javane McBrown.
I want to.
Javane Brown.
Is he even on the team?
I want to have. I want to have hope in our defense to be able to stop goals rather than hope in an offense to have to produce. Because when we're down a goal and I'm like, okay, now our offense has to score. Now we have to score.
Because Rafa does his job.
Rafa does his job. I'd rather have hope in our defense to be able to stop opportunities and let our offense cook without having the threat of, oh my gosh, we could just give up a goal like our playoff game at any minute with that nail in the coffin header.
Yeah. And I'd love to make it a goal this season to get one RSL player on the podcast this winter.
That'd be great. Yeah, you probably won't.
Don't you think?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You probably won't hear much about us.
I cast my vote for.
I think we should do Glad. I always see him walking around.
Dude, I'd mess with Glad on the podcast heavy. That'd be so cool.
That would be.
Anyway,
just anybody. It'd be like a novelty. It'd be like, oh my god.
We need a
no
translator for a couple of them if they did come. So
yeah. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up the RSL segment. We're probably not gonna hear much RSL news from us until January or February, just because there's not a lot going on with the club. Like I feel like we got a lot of news in the last week.
We did.
Until we get a player on the pod.
Yeah. Anyway, but we're gonna try to hit things hard and for the 2026 season, I'm super excited. Obviously, that's the thing about MLS. It's like you just gotta stick with your team regardless, because it's just such a tricky, like, unique league compared to like European soccer. So yeah. Anyway, that's gonna wrap it up from us. Any last thoughts?
It's fun to talk about RSL. Even
it is.
I wish it was still the season.
I kind of miss just talking about
RSL.
soccer in general.
I miss Real.
I miss just
lot.
talking about just that sport in general. I
hopefully-
miss talking about. I wish I could talk more.
And we did pass over ownership
Arsenal.
during the last season. We passed over ownership during the last season to the Miller family, so hopefully we can see cool things to come. Maybe in the stadium. I feel like the stadium's got
It'd
had a
be
lot
nice
of
to
improvements over the last few
It's
years.
been doing well.
It'd be nice to see some stuff about them because maybe just because I'm not tapped in with that, but more like press conferences with the owners, see what their vision is of the
Jason
team in
Christ,
a couple of years.
we also
And
meant-
he becomes head of soccer operations.
Yeah, so I think Jason Christ as head of soccer operations will be huge. As
That's a
someone who
good
played
look.
for the club and
Coach.
is always going to put his
brought us
best foot
championship.
forward regarding the club. It's going to be super important. But yeah, I think it's going to wrap things up here from the Grid City Press podcast. We'd like to thank you for listening. Check us out at gridcitypress.com for recent articles along with links to all the podcasts.
Harper's article was goated.
Yeah, Harper had a great article on Walker Kessler if you want to go check that out. But yeah, check us out, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, if you want to watch the video version. And yeah, thanks
Shout out
for
Luke for his
tuning in.
articles too.
Yeah, shout out Olson, shout out Dave, shout out Bryson. Those are the guys holding it down in the writing department. Anyway,
Goated.
and we'll catch you in the next one.